Hello, welcome to this video presentation. My name is Paul Brett. I'm a Senior Software Support Analyst supporting IBM Transformation Extender. Today's topic is the ITX REST API running on the Windows platform. Feel free to follow me on Twitter at Paul Brett IBM. In today's demonstration, I'm going to show you how to install the ITX Design Studio and Runtime components on the Windows platform. I shall be using version 10.03. It's pretty much the same for version 10.1 as well. We're then going to be starting the Tomcat and Redis instances using the DTX tomcat.cmd script. Finally, I'm going to show you how to execute a single map by accessing the Swagger API page and using the curl command at a command prompt. Here we have a freshly installed Windows machine, and as you can see, there is nothing in the IBM directory on the C drive. So my first step is to install the Design Studio and the Runtime, the downloads for which I've brought down, and they're on my desktop here. So let's just quickly run through both of those. I'm going to choose the defaults for everything except for when it comes to the setup type. I'm going to choose a custom install, and then when the box for the components comes up, I'm going to leave everything ticked to have everything installed. So that's the Design Studio installed, sped up for your convenience. The next step, I'm going to install the Runtime component pretty much in the same manner. Again, I'm going to choose a custom install and leave everything ticked to get absolutely everything installed. And there we go, that's both parts of the product installed. The next step will be to get the REST API configured. Okay, moving into the REST API subdirectory, you will note that we have Redis and Tomcat subdirectories. Let's head into Tomcat. You will note that there is a zip file that contains a full Apache Tomcat installation. And there's a bat file that helps us actually get that installed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the address bar here and put in CMD to bring up a DOS box, command prompt, and then within there I'm going to run the DTX Tomcat script with the install keyword. And then this goes off and extracts that zip file and creates a directory called server to put it in. It creates a couple of extra files there, a certificate file and a key store file. And then this window pops up, which is the actual Apache Tomcat server starting. At this point, I want to bring up the task manager and show that as part of that startup process, one of the processes that is started is a Redis server, and you can see there that that's running there. Now, by default, the product runs maps in what's called fenced mode. That means that each map spins up a separate instance of a JVM to run the actual map in. And should any problem occur, should the map crash and take down the execution environment, it only takes down that particular container and does not bring down the whole Apache web server. However, to run in that mode, Redis is required. Version 10.03, which is what I'm using here, automatically fires up the Redis server for you. Previous versions, such as version 10, did not. and if you tried to execute maps while the Redis server wasn't running, then you would get an error. You could run in unfenced mode. It would involve changing an entry in the tx-rest.properties file, and I'm going to show you that file now. So let's just move this box to one side for the moment. Let's go into the server directory, into web apps, and here we find the tx-rest.war file that's been copied in here and then automatically extracted and deployed by the Apache startup script. So we go into the tx-rest subdirectory, into webinf, and then into classes, and you will see the tx-rest.properties file here, which I'm going to edit, and I'm going to find a line that says run.mode, and you will find that we're currently in fenced mode. And as I say, fenced mode works with 10.03 and later without any further configuration, because a Redis server is automatically started. So, Tomcat is running, Redis is running, and in theory the REST API is running. How do we check that that is actually running? Let's fire up our web server and have a quick look. We will connect to localhost port 8080, and you will see that Apache Tomcat is running. If we go into the Manager app, the username and password combo by default is admin. You can see that the TX REST application has actually been started. The stop button is active. This means it is actually running. There's also another test that you can do. You can connect to port 8080/tx-rest, and this brings up the version string from the REST API. And if you get this, basically you know that the REST API is up. And the final link that I'm going to use is the link that I've got on the desktop here to go to the Swagger page, which is the same thing at the end of the 8080/tx-rest, and then we've got this /API docs $URL equals /tx-rest /openapi.json. This is the Swagger documentation page for the REST API. We've moved to version 2 here in version 10.03, but the version 1 API is still available, shown as deprecated and all grey, but it can still be used. The version 2 API can only really be accessed if you're compiling maps from Design Server. So we're going to be sticking with Design Studio and the API 1 for the rest of this demonstration. Moving down to the Direct Map API, we've got Run a Map Synchronously. If we click on that, and we click on the Try It Out button, let's put in the name of one of the demonstration maps, one in, one out. We're going to say that we want to override input card 1, and we want to receive the results of output card 1. What we're going to send in is some text, and that text is going to be a simple test string. Okay, so if we hit the blue execute button here, you will note that the equivalent curl command has been printed out for you, and the map has actually been executed, and the results are available as a file that you can download. Now that's actually quite a pain to do and keep looking at each time, so I'm actually going to copy the curl command to my clipboard, open a new command prompt, and paste this curl command in. Curl is much easier for quick and simple testing. So as you can see here, the curl command is putting to the same IP address, calling in the one in, one out map, input card is 1, output card is 1, and my test string is specified as a D parameter here. And when I execute that map, the one in, one out is called through the REST API, and the resulting string is capitalized and returned back at the command line. Okay, so that is basically it. The ITX 10.03 REST API version 1 running on a Windows platform. If we go back to our command prompt here, and we can do tomcat dtx tomcat and issue the stop command and confirm with a Y to yes, we do want to stop it. The Tomcat server is stopped in the background, and if we check the task manager, I believe the Redis API, the Redis server will also have been stopped, which it has. And anytime we want to bring that back again, we can just run this same command prompt, DTX Tomcat, and instead of stop we put in a start, and the Tomcat server will pop up again. It goes a bit quicker the second time around because it doesn't have to deploy the WAR file again. And you know it's ready when it says it's come up and ready in so many milliseconds. Here we go, Catalina start up in 10.747 milliseconds. So now the Tomcat server is running again. In theory, our curl command should work again. So we'll just go and run that, and there we go. In the Tomcat window, it tells you that the map has just completed, and in your curl window, you've got the return from the actual command. I want to thank you for taking the time to watch my video presentation today. If you found the content interesting and informative, please hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel as I post content regularly. Feel free to reach out to me on Twitter at PaulBrettIBM. Thank you.